Nsem-Pii TV nie.
Kwaba Edeba Nsem-Pii TV platform yi eso. Be the first to know, as usual. You go so and the seminal Ebremo. Lene Assembly and Ashasiye Elbobo Edeba. As usual on social media, Nipa Bibri Ashasiye react to sa information here about Betujay. Him say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ogusua Obobo Nkofo a omo ebeka na ho amanatimi aresete Ghana said the odi campaign say oba abeyo no I who say first batch obomudin amama kopiemu or the appointment committee vet na koso yaji ebi mu atum second batch din aba betudwa ebi eguso third batch enso din aba betudwa one staunch NDC supporter, NDC fanatic, NDC apparatchik. And also a nordina. We did now have appointments in a course now. It looks as if a lot of nordners are getting appointments, and rightly so. Now, Papa, ya this Nsem-Pii ebe to Jay, ni dian kasa daho Nsem-Pii TV. The better so among Monin and Samaratro. Edian daho Bashiru Bashiru Bejejugu and all this Nsem-Pii ababetuja na yebe kind nsema o de abetuja no native room the all patch rankasa or say the Jubilee House Yongu Dasani you name their search but okay right up now means is referring to John Dramani Mahama I want to say occupy seat of governance at the Jubilee House. So the Jubilee House Yongu Dasani has appointed 2 women he has children with into his government in the persons of Justina Nelson as the CEO of MIIF Minerals Income and Investment Fund and Nana Yaha Jantwa as presidential staffers. This is highly disgraceful from the same NDC that once took President Akufo-Addo to the cleaners for appointing his baby mama as an ambassador. If it was wrong yesterday appointing one baby mama, why appointing 2 such baby mamas into your government? Sending one of them into your office so you can continue doing Bugangbewa is very, very shameful. Vera Akane Gloria and Miss Bell will be appointed to Jubilee House Nocturnal Services. We and Odituja on a lighter side in his right hand. Now, say the Bashiru no from the statement or the other 2 episode or no kuta grapevine sources. He's trying to make the point say appointment appointment me nubia kosua Ghana for on our blind side. There is actually a twist as to why those appointments were made. Adikudientia sanko for mienu yedo monko jumakuo bi so monko di juma ho as CEOs, as board chairs, as presidential staffers, as Jubilee House workers no. Apa ipeso kire say mamifo mienu a ono ebo mudin, the first of them being Madam Justina Nelson no. So Madam Justina Nelson President John Dramani Mahama ene no afefru ene na wakona ene ne woba enunti ena wa appointing as CEO for MIIF Mineral Income and Investment Fund. Nana ya Jantwa so Ghana ha obi anim pefe say is a staunch CPP member abe party no chairperson yana secretary nyinada nkofo be nwanwa say adinti na ya Jantwa ya appointing no. People started raising a governance of inclusivity. Say, found one party I will join. Mahama person man will be an opportunity to reset Ghana. Intia ena one appointing. Ene Mr. Bashiru Bejejegu said Dabi. Na ya Jantwa, he has information to the effect say John Dramani Mahama ene na wo eno nti ena odena ba the office of the president as a presidential staffer. Eno na obusa se sa appointment mienu yi abako Jubilee House bako MIIFE. JDM your president se ekoba se ne ho ye ne yiri kakra e Jubilee House na se sebi pese bayo bi na se bi di ne sabe fa no ho a sa maamefuo yi ebe ye sa adwuma no ma ne nti na appoint omo ana na ode linke in his first coming 2013 to 2017 nsem bebre betuto dwa regarding ono ankasa ne appointees bi ene kwame bofa abonye mo be kan say John Jinapo yire eno so saa woni ne fafuro ama akoda ba mu a o man Jinapo an appointment to appease him. Tracy Boache ne Miss Bentoko e ba betu dwa say papa no ho sensem bebrebe ene eno na esa atoa so ana na chese nsem no akoye bibie wo ho no na odo san nsem we betu dwa a lot of reactions na ahya de boba but obian so ntimi ma abonten emedi banke se nsem a Bashiru Bejejegu edi tu dwa nukure bia anya dai eni san nsem ni mu the minority leader Alexander Afenyomake has been speaking as usual yentie nsem a odi etudwa
this house a fourth termer. He's distinguished himself fifth termer, sorry, Honorable Amakofiwa, thank you. No, my senior. Yes, he's my senior, that's correct. Though we agreed to enter this chamber the same year, I was not fortunate. I lost my primaries by a single vote. And I had to go back to the assembly to go and contest again as an assemblyman and to become a presiding member and to catapult myself into the chamber 4 years after. So I agree. Atu is my senior in this chamber. That's fine. Mr. Speaker, I have absolute confidence in him that being a young man, he's 46, he served as a deputy minister, but what he told me during the inauguration, here was a young man who came into the chamber and was seated behind the pillar. Nobody saw him. Nobody recognized him. He didn't even qualify for leadership of committee. By the grace of God, industry and patience, he's gotten to where he's gotten to. I believe that Atu's rise to that high office should be an inspiration. And I tell him that he should not forget about that. If he falls, it will be the fall of the Ghanaian youth. Going to manage an economy is no joke. We can only pray for him, wish him well, pray that he works with a team there, consult more, and be firm in his own approach to things. It's not a very popular position to take in government. His party people will come after him. Other government ministers will be on him because everybody would be anxious to have a bite at the national cake. So he should be minded of the challenge ahead of him. Mr. Speaker, the next person, our own respected colleague, John Abdullahi Jinapo, who is going to the Energy Ministry. Mr. Speaker, I will rest my case on him as there are some more aspects in that area that I would not attempt to go there. There are people who are well versed in those energy-related issues, and I know that they are very anxious to make a meaningful contribution in that area. So I will skip him. Suffice to state that he is such an affable fellow. If we look at his family, his brother is with us. He distinguished himself. He is on the other side. And Ghanaians should watch this. That the politics we do should not divide a family. The politics we do, Mr. Speaker, I will pause here to remind the majority side. They are in government. They are no more in opposition.
Leader, just address me.
I'm addressing you, but yes. I'm reminding them. I'm reminding them that they are in government. If they want to be litigating, your government business will delay. We will have our say. Mr. Speaker, the Jinapo brothers have something to tell Ghanaians. Politics should not make you think to the extreme. Those of us here who, when it gets to politics, we forget that we are friends and we hit so hard, should learn from the Jinapo brothers. Those who, when it gets to electioneering period and they are sent to people's
you see your life.
Unacceptable, and they proceed, and when they finish they will come and pretend like they are brothers. Those who go to police stations, collation centers to misconduct themselves, forgetting that we are in this together, learn from the Jinapo brothers. Those who need tax to collation centers to insult, to threaten, yet they know they are members of parliament, should remember the Jinapo brothers represent the hope of this country. Learn from them. Mr. Speaker, that said, I shall rest my submissions by having a bite on the nominee, Dr. Dominic Akurutinga Ayeni. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman has earned the respect of this House. Mr. Speaker, I remember when I was on government side, leading government business, there were situations where, as a professional, he even departed from certain positions taken by his side. He got a lot of social media attacks on him, but he stood firm and he stood his ground. No wonder His Excellency, in looking for a formidable but moderate lawyer to mount that ministry, he found him worthy for that cause. He's made his name in the academia. In my early days of practice, there was one case I relied on to make my bail applications and to defend my client, the famous Tagore versus the Republic. Mr. Speaker, the Tagore case was a case that no lawyer wanted to venture. Tagore was jailed with others, and lawyers felt that it was a radioactive substance. This was a man who took the judgment of the High Court, read through it, and took up the appeal. I would encourage young lawyers and law students to go and read what Apau J, as he then was, said of Dr. Ayeni, where my Lord Apesera said of Dr. Ayeni. He distinguished the law and set us on a new era of criminal jurisprudence. And that has enriched the law in the area of criminal justice. All these go to his credit. Mr. Speaker, when I was practicing in the area of financial crime, There were a lot of
Nsem-Pii wɔ hɔ no more na nsɛm so wɔ hɔ. It is utie now show on my YouTube channel.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.